Hi everybody, and welcome to my overview of air pollution. In this video, I'd like to explain how air pollution is caused, the danger it poses to the environment and people, and important moments in histories where air pollution has affected the world, how people are trying to combat air pollution, and what you can do to help. Air pollution is caused when chemicals are released and exposed to the atmosphere. These chemicals are called greenhouse gases, and they contain carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and ozone. Some ways in which air pollution can be caused is by human causes, which is burning of fossil fuels and vehicle exhaust, but there are also natural causes as well, such as dust storms and volcanic eruptions. Now, I'd like to explain the potential dangers of air pollution to the environment. When greenhouse gases are released into the environment, they rise up to the ozone layer and trap heat within Earth's atmosphere, raising the temperature of the climate. With the rise in temperature, it can alter certain chemical compositions of soils, lakes, and rivers, which can cause acidification. That's a process in which substances turn acidic because of a decline in pH level. Now, I'd like to explain what groups of people air pollution typically affects and how it would affect them. People who are sensitive to air pollution contain children, elderly adults, people who suffer from respiratory conditions, and people who live in low-income areas. The short-term effects include reduced lung function, respiratory infections, and aggravated asthma. The long-term effects are stroke, heart diseases, chronic obstruction pulmonary disease, or COPD, and cancer. In this scene, I'd like to talk about the history of air pollution and how long it has been in society. Air pollution has been around since at least the Hippocratic era, for which is 460 to 370 BC, and thanks to many written accounts from different countries, air pollution has been thought of as an issue throughout the following 2 millennia, but only has been a major problem within the last few decades. Times where air pollution has affected the world in a monumental way, the first time being the 1948 Donera smog. Donera, Pennsylvania was developed in a lethal haze that affected the town for around 3 to 5 days. Nearly half the town's 14,000 residents were affected and experienced severe respiratory and cardiovascular problems. Nearly 40 people lost their lives in this incident. The Great Smog of London, 1952. Caused by a combination of industrial pollution, a prolonged period of cold weather, and an anticyclone that trapped the pollutants close to the ground. It caused thousands of people to die, and an abundance of people had to be hospitalized primarily due to respiratory issues like pneumonia, bronchitis, and asthma. As a response to the Great Smog of London, the USA decided to enact the Clean Air Act. The Clean Air Act of 1963 is a federal law designed to protect public health and the environment by regulating air emissions released by various sources. It sets standards for air quality across the states and requires states to develop plans to meet that standard. The National Library of Medicine is also working on various ways to combat air pollution. One of the ways is the combination of microorganisms and plants. How this works is essentially having plants capture air pollutants and have microbes to degrade or transform pollutants that were absorbed onto the plant's surface. In this final scene, I'd like to talk about why people need our help and what ways they can contribute to helping. Why people need our help is air pollution affects everybody's health and can cause major respiratory and cardiovascular issues. It also contributes to millions of premature deaths per year, can harm the ecosystem and impact biodiversity in a negative way, and is a major contributor to climate change. One of the best and easiest ways to help is to not idle your car. It's estimated to waste 3 billion gallons of fuel and generate 30 million tons of greenhouse gases per year. Another way of helping is reducing the amount of energy people use. While it being an obvious solution, it's still a practice that needs to be instilled into people, as it's not as common as people think. Energy is used everywhere in the world, whether it be in your phones, household appliances, or industrial practices. It be in everyone's best interest to participate in using cleaner energy sources to make the environment a healthier and safer place for us all. Thank you for your time.